Welcome to the first LFasian game stream of 2023. This is Wendy here, and it's actually just gonna be me today. Um, I've never streamed by myself before, so I'm a little nervous. I'm a little excited, but we'll see how this goes. One of my New Year's resolutions is to do a little bit more solo streaming, and so I thought today Jeremy's feeling a little under the weather. It would be a perfect time for me to start. I made a 10 by 10 was a little overwhelming for me, I'll be honest. So I made a 5 by 10 where I, at some point this year, am going to take 5 games and play them solo 10 times. And one of those games is Arkham Horror. I can't even talk today. So I have been wanting to do a solo version of Arkham Horror, and was gonna start actually right after we started the Dream Eaters. The only problem was we used shared cards, and since we had 3 players and each player had 2 decks, there just weren't really enough cards to go around. So now that we're done with Arkham Horror for a while, I thought it would be a perfect time for me to hop on a solo game, starting with Return of the Zealot and then just playing on through as far as I can get. We'll see how this goes. I am used to Jeremy being here, being my ride or die, being our fearless game leader. And so I'm hoping that I'll be able to run my own games. I guess we'll find out. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be playing here. Again, playing Return of the Zealot. I'm playing it on standard mode, and I'm playing with Roland Banks, who is the intro guardian that comes in. We have played every campaign through the Dream Eaters. And so all of those cards are mixed in with our card selections, but I am only using cards that are from the Return of the Zealot. Hey, Jen, Happy New Year, friend. I don't know how you do this by yourself all the time. I am like a little shaky. Makes me a little nervous. So I'm only going to be using cards from the Return of the Zealot campaign. Now, they all are just mixed in there together. I think they actually all come together. I don't think it got broken out into different mythos. And then moving into the Dunwich Legacy, once I finish these, I believe there's 3 scenarios in this campaign. I will do the same thing with the Dunwich Legacy. I will go in and only use cards from Return of the Zealot and the Dunwich Legacy when I start building the decks for that going forward. Pretty excited. Also, like, excited to go back and see these old campaigns that, like, we thought were so hard. We started playing this in... we started playing this in 2021, like, early 2 years ago. And so it's been a while since I've even seen these scenarios. Interested to see. Don't know any other way. Gonna play. Like, I have played solo games. I've never played solo games on stream. Jen, like, again, I am amazed by the fact that you can just sit down and do it. Like, I'm like remembering all the rules, remembering how to set things up, remembering how to go. Like, I use Jeremy for these things. So when it comes to Arkham Horror, having a well-balanced team is really kind of mission critical. So you've got like your 2 bookends. You've got your Seekers, which are really good at hoovering up clues, and then you have your Guardians, which are really good at punching things. And then in between those bookends, you have your Mystics, your Survivors, and your Rogues. I really like playing Seeker. I really like playing Rogues. And when I was looking online to see what people recommended for who to play solo here, I was a little surprised that Roland is the one that came up because he is a Guardian. But you build his deck with Guardian cards, pardon me, Guardian cards, obviously, And then happy 6-month stream anniversary, Jen. That's awesome. That is amazing. Are you gonna have a special stream later for your 6-month anniversary? Um so Roland, you build it with the guardian cards obviously, but then he also allows you to put in level 0 through 2 seeker cards, which is pretty dope. So that way you kind of are hitting both ends of those bookends, and so I'm interested to see how this plays out. Let's look at this board. It feels so lonely. It feels so lonely in here. Okay, so starting out, we only have one location. I'm looking to see if there's the word salad stuff that Jeremy normally reads for us. And then you can see I've got everything squeezed in here. Whereas we're normally a little bit more spread out. Let me straighten this up a little bit before my eyes bug out of my head. Okay. So this is The Gathering, which is the very first Arkham Horror scenario. You and your partners have been investigating strange events taking place in your home city of Arkham, Massachusetts. Over the past few weeks, several townspeople have mysteriously gone missing. Recently, their corpses turned up in the woods, savaged and half-eaten. The police and newspapers have stated that wild animals are responsible, but you believe there is something else going on. You are gathered together at the lead investigator's home to investigate these bizarre events. And let me open up my app where I use to keep our campaigns. New campaign. Let me go ahead and get this started up. So if you play a lot of Arkham, there are the paper versions of the campaign logs, and you can find just like blank versions of those in PDF format online, which are pretty dope. We use an app. You can see it here on the screen. We use an app that maintains all of that for us, which I'm super thankful for because it keeps everything straight, gets all your resolutions. My one-handed. How did it go? Like, are you still playing it? It's playing Jenny. So Jenny is the seeker in this, right? Or is she the... Because Wendy Adams is survivor. Is she the mystic or is she the seeker? I can't remember. Alright, so Friday, September 18th, 1925. Arkham, Massachusetts. It is the end of a long and abnormally hot summer. The first hints of autumn beckon, but a heavy heat persists, relentless. A silent, unspoken anger grips the town. Tempers are short, and in the last week alone, there have been numerous reports of townspeople come into heated, violent blows with one another over simple misunderstandings. And now, a call from James Hankerson. He claims to have found a dismembered body in his barn. Blaming the weather would be too easy. There is something wrong with this town, and not a whole lot of this old soothsayer can do to stop the slide. My auguries indicate... I don't have no idea what that word is. Auguries indicate a small group of investigators will soon take note of these strange happenings and set forth to make things right. I'll be watching their progress, but I won't be holding my breath. Oh boy. All right. So I've got everything set up here. I've got everything shuffled in. Hey, Troyan. Happy New Year. First Elevation game stream of 2023, and I'm doing it solo. My first solo stream. Unless you count like when we did Extra Life and I streamed for a couple hours before Jeremy woke up because I was excited and wanted to go ahead and get started. Alright, so there's only one location in play. It's the study. So let's check this out. You've been investigating the strange events occurring in Arkham for several days now. Your desk is covered in newspaper articles, police reports, and witness accounts. So we're going to add 2 clues per investigator, so that will be 2. And there's a shroud of 2. So, luckily, starting out to investigate won't be hard because there's not really too much else going on in here. Is that because I was printing out arrows? There are so many upgrades for this on the Thingiverse. Our 2 favorites are these standee holders. And then we used the arrows for a long time, which were really helpful. I've seen a lot of the like pieces that are inside your bag. There's also a lot of really dope upgrades on Etsy for those. I've seen also a lot of player mats, but we bought these like wooden ones before we got our 3D printer, or a 3D printer that was big enough to print an actual player mat. Okay, so I've got 5 resources here. I am going to use 3 of them to pull out my machete. It's going to be my first move. Never hurts to have an extra weapon in your hand. And then I will use one to pull my magnifying glass. So the machete just, helps deal damage, obviously, and then the magnifying glass gives you +1 book, which is helpful because Roland has a book of 3. So now I'm going to investigate with my last turn here. Oh, well, that's starting the new year off right there, huh? We will take it. Okay, so +1 for each clue on your location. So that's gonna give me 4, 5, 6, more than enough to get this clue here. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of my turn here. Now let's see. There's no monsters, and so I will take a resource and I will draw a card. Emergency cash. That's great. Great. Okay, I got in the encounter deck, Crypt Chill, Revelation Test 4 head. I have 3, so this starting off not great. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. Well, I have 2 assets currently, but I don't want to get rid of either one of them. So luckily, I've got Guts here in my hand. I'm going to commit Guts to this test. And so that will take me up to 5. Do I have anything else I can commit? Nope. Okay. Hopefully 5 will be enough. Let's see. Well, you go from a blue star to the tentacles here, and that sucks. Okay, so I have to get rid of an asset that I control. Now, I do believe I'm going to get rid of my magnifying glass. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to check the instructions here real quick. Weird. I don't know when I'm supposed to put my other, this is why we have Jeremy to run our games, right? There's always so much to keep up with. The agenda deck. Okay, so Act 1. I just totally skipped over this part. As you leap to investigate, the door to your study vanishes before your eyes, leaving behind you only a solid wall. You're trapped inside your study until you can find another way out. That's important to know. It's like, how the heck do I get out of this study? There's nowhere to go. So to advance that, I need 2 clues. I currently have 1. But then on the other side, we have the agenda. What's going on? It's late at night. You are holed up in your study, researching the bloody disappearances that have been taking place in the region. A few hours into your research, you hear the sound of strange chanting coming from your parlor down the hall. At the same time, you hear dirt churning as if someone were digging beneath the floor. And then this is going to advance with 3 doom. You can see I already have 1 doom on there. This makes a lot more sense now. Man, I lean on Jeremy for too much. So I'm going to investigate. So I got this totem. If there's a ghoul enemy at your location, take 1 damage. There is not. So, otherwise, I investigated with 3. Shroud of 2. So, we are good. I'm going to spin these 2 here to advance my act. You notice that the edges of your newly purchased rug are tattered and mud-stained. Oh boy, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. Finding this odd, you shift the furniture aside and pull back the rug. To your surprise, you see the door. Leading out of your study. You slowly turn the knob. The door swings open, revealing your hallway below. You jump through the doorway, landing on your feet on the soft dirt. The door to the study slams shut above you. You smell the burning of wood the smell of burning wood fills the narrow hall, intermingled with the scent of rot and decay. Put into play the set-aside hallway, cellar, attic, and parlor. Discard each enemy at the study. Place each investigator in the hallway, and remove study from the game. Okay, so study's out, and we are going to put in hallway, cellar, attic, and parlor. Okay, so the cellar will go above. Trying to make sure we can see all these locations. Parlor. Oh wait, cellar should go below, right? And then parlor, and then we'll put the attic up here. Can we see those? No, let's pull this down just a hair. Hopefully you can see that. And we are currently in the hallway. These are all upside down. Okay. So let's see what the hallway has to say. A moment of panic and disorientation strikes you as you land upon the floor of the hallway. The world spins as if turned on its head. The walls of your house are splattered with mud, and your hardwood floor is gone, replaced with a dirt map. So there are no clues on the hallway, but there is a shroud of 1. So I've got 2 moves left, and I do believe what I will do is move down to the cellar. The stairs leading down to your cellar are slick, and they glisten with a thin layer of ice. Forced. After you enter the cellar, take 1 damage. Ow. Okay. And then there's going to be 2 clues here with a shroud of 4. Okay, our next act is the barrier. A glowing barrier blocks the path to your parlor. As you move towards it, intense heat forces you to back away. Picking up a handful of dirt, you toss it at the barrier and watch in horror as the dirt incinerates. Perhaps there's something in the cellar or attic that can help. Objective: when the round ends, investigators in the hallway may, as a group, Spin the requisite number of clues to advance. Need 3 clues. Okay. So, I've got 1 move left. Let's see. Really could be using that magnifying glass right about now, huh? Okay, -1. So that is not going to get it. Okay, well, we tried. I've got a card I can play next time. Okay, so there's no monsters to have a monster turn. So I will take a resource and draw another card. Dr. Christopher has joined the chat. Okay, so I'm curious. For those of us that play Arkham Horror, do you play with taboo rules or no? Because I kind of want to play with the taboo rules, just because like we normally don't. It just seems like a lot to keep up with. I was gonna just start this game with the taboo rules in place, but I didn't have enough time to even look at them before I decided to sit down and play. So I think starting next time I will pull those in. But I know that Dr. Christopher has a lot of taboo rules, or at least he did the last time I was looking at them, to make him not as badass as he is today. Okay, so Jen, you don't play with the taboo rules. Like, I can see the benefit of it. I mean, when you look at cards in hindsight, or the way that the game evolves as you go through, I can see why and appreciate the fact that they go in and make those adjustments to cards and what they can do, but you bring up a very valid point. Playing one-handed solo is hard enough to know what all's going on. You can see I'm kind of struggling through this too. And like, Arkham is a game that I've played almost every single week for, I don't know, 18 months. So you would think that it would just be in my heart next to Jesus, but there's a lot to keep up with. I think I will spend some time tomorrow looking at the taboo rules and see if I do really want to take that on, because I might be taking on too much now that I see that I'm kind of struggling without Jeremy here to lead the game for me. Okay, so let's pull this Mythos. Crypt Chill. I did shuffle these, but maybe I need to shuffle them again. Test forehead again. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. Cool. This would be a great time to pull another one of those blue stars. Oh, -1. Okay. So that's a fail. So the only item, the only asset under my control is my machete. Ooh. Man. I feel like a little babe in the woods. Hey Jen, when you play, do you play on standard mode? Do you play on easy? Do you play on the harder ones like expert, or like murder rate? Like, we always play on standard. I wonder if I change the difficulty to easy, if that would make it easier to play with the rules of, with the just totally lost my train of thought. Taboo rules. I'm a story girl. Okay. Yeah, I like the story. And Arkham, I think, does a really good job of telling stories. Like, we've really enjoyed going through all of these as we've played through all the different campaigns. Well, I really want to like save my resources to bring out Dr. Millen. You know what I'll do? Okay, so my first turn, I'm going to get a resource, and then for my second turn, I am going to bring Dr. Millen into my play area. He's like my favorite card in this game. I love him. He's strong. He's awesome. He like helps you investigate. So now I'm going in with 4. Take God mode if they had it. Oh my gosh. No. That seems like a lot. Okay, 0. Okay, good. So there is one clue, and that will get me a resource. Alright, so there's my 3 turns. Still no monsters in play. So I'm going to... Wendy, what are you doing? How about I pull a card from my hand and not from, the mythos into my hand. Get a resource here. Oh, I thought God mode was like those that where you have like the -7 in your mythos bag. Like those people that play on like the super 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 hard and they're playing like 2 or 3 hands at once. I'm just like, good for them. I'm happy for them. It's a little more than I'm willing to sign up for. Play Fallout with God mode turned on so it's less scary. High strong sisters, unite. Alright, so my next mythos is, or my next encounter card is, place 1 doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. And I realize I did not put one on last time, so that does actually cause it to advance. Oh boy, let's see what happens here. Your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed, the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you have been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognize elements from your former home. The lead investigator must decide. Either each investigator discards 1 card at random from his or her hand, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror. Well, I only have 5, so I am going to discard a card randomly from my hand. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Okay. Let's see. Discard 1 card. Okay. So I'm going to discard Working a Hunch. Dang it. Dang it. So guaranteed clues, no more. That sucks. Okay. And now, Agenda 2A, Rise of the Ghouls. The floor beneath you is giving way, and you see a vast network of tunnels twisting into the darkness below. Shapes and silhouettes of strange creatures move swiftly through the tunnels, trying to find a way up. You probably don't want to be here when they do. Oh boy. Okay. And now it's going to take 7 doom. It's going to take 7 doom to get up there. Okay. For my next turn, I am going to investigate again. With Dr. Christopher, it's always easier to investigate. Okay, I got a cultist. -1. If you fail, take 1 horror. Oh, goodness. Well, there's 1 horror down. Okay, let's investigate again. Or, how about instead I use, from turn number 2, I'm going to use my emergency cash, which is going to get me 3 resources. 1, 2, 3. And then I am going to draw a card. Oh, Working a Hunch. The same card that I just had to discard is back. And then, okay, so that's my turn. There's no monsters. So I will gain a resource and draw a card. Stand back up, Dr. Christopher. Oh no! Oh no, I drew I drew my weakness. Choose and discard all but one card from your hand. Boo. Okay. Boo. Dang. Okay. So, B Cup and Research Librarian are gonna go out of my hand, as is my treasury. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, that sucks. Alright, dissonant voices. Put dissonant voices into play in your threat area. You cannot play assets or events. At the end of this round, discard dissonant voices. Yuck. Okay, and Dr. Christopher is in fact an asset. Okay, so let's put 1 of 7 here. Okay, well, how about on this turn instead I go 1, 2 up to the attic. So the smell of rotten meat assaults your nostrils as you approach the attic stairs. Oh, awesome. Forced. After you enter the attic, take 1 horror. That sucks. But there are 2 clues up here with a Shroud of 1. Makes investigating without Dr. Christopher a lot easier. So was 1, 2. Yeah. I'm gonna investigate here now. Zero. So that's going to get me 1 clue. So now we've got 1. We've got 2 of the 3 that we need to advance. Okay. Wow, this goes a lot faster when I don't have to sit here with Jeremy and Daniel, like, thinking through everything to no end. Although I miss them, it's quiet and, like, I can reach everything. It just feels kind of weird. Alright, so let me grab this card. Alright, this one's going to go away. And I get a resource. So I just drew Roland's 38 special. Awesome. You get +3 instead. Okay. Let's draw this so much faster. So, you know, I feel like most games are, except that I'm learning Sleeping Gods at the moment, and I am way too indecisive for this to play quicker solo. For better or for worse, when I play a game, I usually know immediately what I want to do. Like, I know exactly, before Jeremy and Daniel even realize that, like, it's our turn yet, I've already, like, either taken my turn or know exactly what I'm going to do. I just have to wait for one of them to, like, pass me a bag or do something. There's a lot of good that comes from that. There's a lot of chaos that comes from that, too. But then the 2 of them just like sit there and just think through everything, which elevates our play. But for me, I'm impatient. I'm like, come on, y'all. Okay, so I drew Obscuring Fog. Attach your location, limit 1 per location. Attached location gets +2 Shroud. After attached location is successfully investigated, discard. Okay, so that's going to take the Shroud up there to 3. That's not too bad. And now it is back to my turn. So I am going... First things first. I'm going to spend 3 resources. And I'm going to pull Roland's 38 special into my hand. Because I feel like the monsters are coming. I feel like they are coming. Alright, so there was move number 1. Number 2. Oh, +1. So that is a successful investigation there, too. I'm going to say I used Dr. Christopher on that. so that I can get that resource. That is, not only does he boost up your investigation skills, he also gets you just a ton of resources, which is so nice. I love Dr. Christopher. Okay, that's gonna get rid of obscuring fog. And now I'm gonna move back to the hallway for my last turn to use my 3 clues to advance the act. Okay. Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders as it consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking passage into the parlor has vanished. Reveal the parlor. Put the set-aside Lita Chandler into play in the parlor. Spawn the set-aside Ghoul Priest in the hallway. Cool. Alright, so Lita is going to go here to the parlor. And the Ghoul Priest is going to hop here into the hallway with us. Okay. This is a gnarly guy. Okay. What have you done? A woman with a torch stands in your parlor. Wait. Okay. A woman with a torch stands in your parlor, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? She screams, furious. Before you can answer, a ghastly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing towards you. If the Ghoul Priest is defeated, advance. Okay, so this guy, it takes 4. It takes 4 fists to hit him. And I'm going to have to hit him 5 times to get rid of him. He also swings hard, and he has retaliate. So now would be a great time to pull out my dynamite, because I cannot get away from him. He might kill me. Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to fight him. Don't have a choice. Okay. So, rotting remains. I skipped this. Hyper awareness. Okay. Rotting remains. Revelation. Test 3 head. For each point you fell by, take 1 horror. Cool. I currently have 3 horror left. And I have 3 head. If I get an automatic fail, I think I die. I don't know. It hasn't happened in a long time. -1. Okay. So that's going to be I failed by 1. And then take 1 horror because of the cultist. I might have needed to select a character with I might have needed to choose a character with a little bit more sanity. Good grief. I should have asked Jeremy what happens if my sanity runs out. Oh, balls. Okay. Well... Okay. I'm gonna put this on pause for about 30 seconds to ask Jeremy a question. Uh, be right back. Okay, I had to consult the master there for a second. I'm like, what the heck? What happens if I die here? Um, so okay. I'll be honest, y'all. I'm a little bit nervous here. A lot bit nervous here. If I'm honest. I don't want to like die on my first time being a solo player, but I feel that that is imminent. But I'm not going down without a fight, right? So, draw this. Okay, there is 2 of 5 damage on this guy. And then he's gonna hit me. Sorry, Dr. Christopher. Alright, let's try one more time. Okay. There's 2 more. Alright. I've got to kill him this time, or I'm gonna die. I have to kill him this time. Okay, I literally have to kill him this time. +1. That will. Oh, frick. Okay. Oh my. Oh. I didn't even have to use my bullets. And he goes into a I'm like, I'm freaking out a little bit right now because. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Talk about getting by with a chip in a chair. Damn. Dang. 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 Okay. So if the ghoul priest is defeated, advance. And he was barely. When the robed creature falls, a fiendish swarm burrows back into the ground, and the chaos of the house quiets. But the stranger in your parlor doesn't seem relieved. You broke my seal that was set to trap the ghouls within. She raises her torch. Now we must make more direct measures and burn this hell pit to the ground. I had forgotten how much I love Lita Chandler in the story. I I always have her in my deck. Like now, in our future campaigns, like she always is in my like first draw, when I'm building my deck, and I hope she's getting ready to come into my hand now. Like when I was checking, like because I was going through all of our cards and was like, okay, oh, you know what, Lita, she is from the Zealot. I'm gonna pull her out, and then like it was like, this is a story asset. You must set her aside. I was like, dang, I had to pull her out of my hand. I am so jazzed. I hope that she's coming into my hand. The lead investigator must decide now. um, it was never much of a home. Burn it down. Or this hell pit is my home. No way we are burning it. Okay, so I say burn, mother chucker, burn. So that's going to be resolution 1. Roland Banks is alive. Barely. My God, he's barely alive. Phew. Okay. You nod and allow the red-haired woman to set the walls and floor of your house ablaze. The fire spreads quickly, and you run to the front door to avoid being caught in the inferno. From the sidewalk, you watch as everything you own is consumed by the flames. Come with me, the woman says. You must be told of the threat that lurks below. Alone, we are surely doomed, but together we can stop it. In your campaign log, record that your house is burned to the ground. The lead investigator earns the Lita Chandler card and may include it in their deck. This card does not count towards the investigator's deck size. Heck yes! Oh God, I love her so much. She's scrappy. She's got 3 hearts. She's got 3 brains. Like, she can take a lot of hits for you. And like, for this guy who only has 5 sanity, that's really gonna come in handy, I feel like. Ooh boy. Okay. I'm so glad that she's gonna be in my hand now. And for the first time, probably since Jeremy and I played this campaign in 21, she won't count towards my deck size. The lead investigator suffers 1 mental trauma from watching their house become a smoldering ruin. So Roland just took 1 mental trauma. Oh, great, because he has so much sanity to just play with there. And then each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X. Okay, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3. 3 XP. Okay. So this was my first time doing a solo stream ever. This is my first time playing Arkham solo. I hope it wasn't too terrible, because I will be continuing this. I might even just hop on here later on tonight, after dinner. What time is it? 4:30? Yeah, maybe before I cook dinner. We'll see. But thank you guys for hopping on here and playing along. It's always nice. You're playing solo, but you're really playing with friends. And that's pretty amazing. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope that all of y'all have avoided the funk that Jeremy picked up over New Year's and is currently laying on the couch trying to get over so that we can have our regular game night on Wednesday. Jen, question for you. Are you going to have a special 6-month anniversary stream, or have you already and we missed it when we were out of town, or should we be watching out for that? But also, do y'all want to raid, or should I just end this? Let me see who's online. Oops. Okay. Let's see who's online. really struggling here to even see who is. I don't see anybody on ours. No, it would have been today, but I want to let Sleeping God play. Okay. Okay, hey Jen, do you want to go raid Luzapalooza? Luzapalooza. I think I spelled that right. Alright, still trying to learn how to do this. Alright, thank y'all for hanging out, and we will go out and raid this. Raid now. Cool. Okay.